so again, if you want to incorporate a little bit of Thai massage into it, the Shiatsu Techniques and the Shiatsu Techniques are kind of similar in a way. So they do incorporate a lot of movements, a lot of compressing, but with Thai massage it's a little bit more stretching than the Shiatsu. But they kind of have the same theory in a way with the meridians, but the Thai massage, I mean, thousands of years ago there's actually 72,000 sen lines, they call it. But with this, they kind of limit it to actually 10 sen lines. But they kind of mimic the Asian meridians too. But with this, a lot of people, you can just call it, again, Thai massage, American style. Just incorporate some stretching into the treatment and also incorporate some of the Shiatsu into the Thai massage, or the Thai massage into the Shiatsu. So either way, vice versa then, okay? So kind of in general too with Thai massage, the left side of the body is more the feminine and the right side is more the masculine. So for the females you can start more on the left side, for the males you can start more on the right side then as you're going on the body. And with this, you want to just make sure that the temperature in the room is a little bit cooler, because this is a little bit more of a workout than probably what you're used to then. But what you can basically do with this one is kind of rock the feet like this. So again, it's a lot of rocking movements, but again, you can actually compress and hold too if you want for these areas. And the kind of the theory too is actually go from medial to lateral too for some of the techniques. So you can actually kind of go out like this, okay? So you can actually go up the body like this, okay? You can also get more the medial thigh going up, kind of rocking, kind of relaxing. It's a good way to actually warm up the muscles this way before you actually start doing a lot of the stretches then, okay? And again, you can actually kind of push in to the legs too. Once you get the medial side, then you can kind of get the lateral side. But again, you want to mimic the same techniques on each side. So again, for females, try to start more on the left. Males start more on the right then. But for demonstrational purposes, most of them are just going to do one side then. Okay, next one we can do, you can actually lift up the leg. Compress these areas then too. And you can also rotate it like this too. So you can actually do a little bit of movement too, okay? And you can also compress while you're performing the movements too, okay? Then you can also, as you can see here, you're going to rotate it like this then, okay? So you can also kind of rock in like this. So again, you can kind of rotate it out like this, place it right on your hip, and kind of rotate like this then, okay? Okay, then you can also kind of flex, kind of compress, going up. But remember, not a lot of pressure, of course. With this, you can actually kind of rotate it. Okay, otherwise you can go the opposite direction too. Remember, if you go clockwise, that's actually more relaxing. Counterclockwise, a little bit more stimulating that. So depends what they really need then too, okay? Okay, next one. You can also kind of give them a little pull then too, okay? But remember, with your body mechanics, make sure you have them fill out a health form, see if they have any hip or knee problems. Okay, you can actually use your knees a little bit too here, okay? You can also kind of rotate too like this, okay? Okay, next one, what we're going to do is bring it out the leg like this, the other leg like this. So you can actually put your foot over the other leg, or you can push into their ankle too, okay? But then you can actually get the medial side of the leg this way then. So you can stretch them out. And it depends how flexible they are too, so you might have to bring it out even more kind of thing. just to stimulate these points then, okay? Next one, you can just rest the foot on your quad, just stimulating these points. Remember how we had before, you can actually rest it like this, okay? Get these regions too. You can also do a little bit of movement too, okay? Okay, you can have the foot actually on the mattress here. And this mattress is actually an egg crate, and my mom, she actually sewed some vinyl over the top of it, and it works great because when I first went to massage school, couldn't afford a table, but I got an old table from Salvation Army, put this on top, and that was my massage table. But this can also be used as a mattress too for Thai massage. And sometimes they'll actually use more of a futon mattress too, but just make sure it's thin as possible, because the thicker it is, it's going to be a little bit more work for you then, okay? Okay, next one, you can bring it over here like this. But remember, support the medial side of the knee, just to be safe. And you can also kind of do a little rocking with it too. Little movements like that. But again, both sides, try to mimic as much as you can. And then you can also bring the leg over here like this too, okay? You can actually compress, pushing down then too, okay? You can actually do a little bit of a stretch too, okay? I mean, usually with Thai massage, there's usually a lot more motion, a lot of movements. But if you want, you can incorporate just a little stretch, just maintain it then too, okay? Okay. Next one, you can actually place your knee on their quad and kind of rotate it out, and you can compress their hip. So you can just do a little rocking that way then too, then, okay? So you can usually get more flexibility that way, the more you rock like this. And some people will actually balance both their knees on their quads, but just make sure you watch your reactions. Otherwise, if you don't think they can, if the first time of giving them a treatment, just use one to start with then, okay? But again, you can actually compress going up the body too this way then, okay? But again, with the hips, make sure you cup that area then, okay? And also for the abdominal, try not to put a lot of pressure straight down then, okay? Okay, next one we're gonna do here. You're gonna place your fingers, your toes, right in the glute region, like this, and kind of lift them up then, okay? Just give them a little pull. This can actually be done with both the legs. So you can actually put both your feet underneath the glute region and pull the feet then too then, okay? So it's different methods. Next one, you can externally rotate like this, both of them. Like this. So you actually can just compress. If you need to actually hold it in place, you can actually use like this and compress. And you can also have the like this together, so you can actually bring it up, kind of rotate back and forth. There's actually a form called Brima. It's kind of similar to Thai massage too. The Thai massage, it has many different names to it. Yoga body work, okay. You can kind of rock the hips too. Okay, next one we can do like this, both like this. You can also compress a little bit of the abdominal region, but this actually helps relax a lot of abdominal muscles here. You're just compressing, moving the legs around. So you also both at the same time too, so you can just kind of rotate it like this. Okay. Okay, and then you can also kind of push up, chin, push up. If you want to incorporate breathing, Okay, breathe in, and then breathe out, pulling it back then, okay? Breathe in, breathe out, okay? You can also just one at a time. Because in Thailand, the average Thai massage, they say it's around 2 to 3 hours long. So that's how long they usually last then. But in America, I mean, hour and a half usually. That's what you're going to incorporate. Okay. So next one we're going to do is we're going to put our knees right here. Okay. We're actually going to put the feet together like this. I'm just going to lift it up like this then. So you're going to arch down. So you can see it kind of mimics some of the yoga moves then too, okay? So just make sure you incorporate some of this in, and it all depends how flexible they are again too then, okay? Okay, next one, what you can do is just have the legs totally straight, like this. Okay, and then have them interlock the fingers and hands, okay? You can actually lift up. You can also kind of rock them too a little bit, okay? Okay. Okay, next one you can actually cross like this, cross the other one, do the same thing. Okay, and then both hands. Okay. So if you have somebody really tall, it's a better idea just to actually cross like that then, okay? Okay, next one. Just gonna, and then rotate the knees out like this, both of them. Like this. Just rock it like this. Then you can also use your knees on the hamstrings too, okay? So it all depends if they can handle have a little pressure then, okay? Otherwise you can just interlock it like this. Okay. Okay, next one, same idea, but then you just have them move their arms out the side like this, right at the armpit region, right there, and then you can actually kind of push down for a little stretch then, okay? Also again, you can have some movement, some rocking. Okay. And you can also have the feet together like this, rotate them out, put them both together, okay? So you can actually rock up like that then too, okay? You can also rock it back and forth. Okay, next one. You can actually both legs, okay? Okay, next one we can do is just bring up the legs like this. Bring it out like this. So you just brace them like this, and if you need to, you can have them kind of hold on to you a little bit and grab the arms, and interlock the wrist. So you can actually kind of rock like this then too, okay? But remember, don't be bending like this for the techniques, okay? So just move with your hips, your legs, okay? Okay, and then also for the legs, I mean, in general, Thai massage, most of it's actually spent in the anterior position like this. So you can, as you can see, you can incorporate a lot more stretching with the legs. But with Shiatsu, it seems like a lot more of the techniques are actually concentrated on the posterior part of the body then, okay? So with this, you can actually, again, compress, pushing up then, and you can actually kind of rock too, okay? Okay, but just make sure it's not a abrupt rocking, okay? So it's nice and fluid for these techniques then, okay? And you can also kind of hold the knees together, have them interlock the wrists, okay? So you can actually kind of bring it up. You can just have them their whole body weight just relax, and then just the body weight is kind of the resistance then, okay? And you can also kind of bring it up, with your body weight, kind of bringing it back then, okay? But just nice slow motions then, okay? And just watch how their head lands too, okay? So just make sure it's relaxed for those kind of techniques, okay? Okay, then you can also just bring it up here, just like a regular hamstring stretch. And you can see that she's average for stretching for the hamstrings. You can probably even push a little bit farther. But again, some people can't handle it. Some people are right here then for the stretch. So just alter it, whatever they can handle. Okay, so you can just do some movements from rocking that way then too, okay? Then you can also kind of flex, push it up, okay? Just like we did in a way before, but remember if you want a little bit more stretch, you can actually put your foot over their other leg. Just kind of hold it in that position, okay? You can also kind of put it on the hip and kind of just use your hip as a brace then, okay? Next one, you can actually put their foot on their quad. You can rocking it this way, or you can kind of push it more this way. But again, some people aren't going to be that flexible, so. Okay, next one. You place it like this, compress the hip. Make sure the foot is above the patella then. So our patella is right here, make sure it's above. So compress, kind of push and rock, okay? Okay, next one, have it straight like this. You can actually give a little pull out this direction then, okay? But some people's ankles will separate a little bit, so that's why make sure that you just do it a little bit with a little bit of strength to start with. If you hear any popping, then just go up a little bit higher, and that's where you're going to actually grasp that. You can also bring it all over here like this. So actually compress, kind of pushing. You can even have it flexed a little bit. Okay. So sometimes when you get on the other side of the body, you can actually get a better stretch on the lateral side of the leg then, okay? So just bring it over here like this. But again, try not to hyperextend the knee, so just don't let it snap when you're performing any of these kind of techniques. Then you can also compress like the pec region and bring it over here like this then too. So compress the pecs right over here. And it's going to rotate, bringing it around. Okay. Then you can also have it like this and kind of push it down. Okay. You get more of a stretch that way. And sometimes people might get a little pop in the low back region this way. So again, don't act shocked. It can happen. You can just kind of push it a little bit farther each time. But as you see, she's kind of flexible, so you can actually place this hand on the stomach region. So if you need to go down even farther then, okay? So you're not compressing the hand then for those regions. Okay, next one. Have the leg like this and actually extend it, okay? Okay. You can actually have it like this. Bring it like this. Okay. For demonstration purposes, I'm just using one hand, but also remember you want to have both hands on the body as much as possible. Kind of pushing. Okay. Next one. Externally rotate like this. Place the foot underneath like this. So what you're going to do here, remember how we can compress before, but before we had it just to the side, other one we had it on top, but remember not on the patella, make sure it's always above the patella. The other one underneath then, okay? And if you want more of a stretch, you can actually push the foot underneath and more too, okay? So you can actually kind of rock up the body too this way, okay? Okay. And again, you can actually have like this. You can press more of the hamstring muscles, okay? But you can see she's a little bit flexible. You can actually use more of your hand like this, rock it like this. Or you can kind of cup the calcaneus, the heel here, dorsiflexion. Just bring it out like this then too, okay? And just rotate it in different angles. And sometimes you can get a better stretch that way then too, okay? Okay, next one, just like this, you can actually kind of traction lift it up. Or you can kind of place your hand, or I mean your foot, right here on the quad, and kind of lift it up then, okay? You can also, again, you can have some rocking motions too. And you can also just use your quad too, okay? Then you can also bring it out in different directions. Okay, you can also use your knee, just compressing on the quad, on the gastroc. Just compress right on the gastroc soleus region, posterior part of the shin. Okay, they can also look like this, compress. And if you want, you can kind of like plantar flex. But again, all these techniques the same on both sides then, okay? So just make sure you mimic it on both sides the same. So once you're done with one technique on one leg, you can go to the other side. Or some people will actually perform all the techniques on one side, part of the leg, and then switch to the other side and perform all the techniques that way. So it all depends on what you can handle. Next one, over the patella again, of course. Like this. You can kind of rock it, okay? A nice one, you can actually use your quad here, and actually dorsiflexion, and kind of rock it like that then too, okay? Then also, you can just bring it over here like this. See, the legs are crossed. Just do a little bit of rocking motion. Just bring it like that then, okay? But again, if you want, you can actually have it like this, okay? Rock it like that. You can also kind of bring it up towards her chest too, okay? See, I'm stabilizing this and just rocking like this, okay? Okay, next one, and just both, just give a little pull, okay, just both, pull. You also alternate it too if you want, okay. And again, you can mimic just like a bicycle too if you want, okay. And what you're going to do here is you're going to place your knee underneath here, just so the knee doesn't hyperextend, okay? Okay. Next one, just going to place it like this, brace the quads, and just rock it, okay? So again, if you want, you can kind of do some rocking motions. Or you can have it bent. Bring it up like this, kind of like we did earlier. Okay, next one, just have the feet here. Rock one side, okay? But again, if you're going to go the other side, just go over there and then just rock it this way. Otherwise, it can just be this way. Okay, next one. Like this. You can just kind of compress. You can even place your hand right on the hip and just kind of rock it that way then too, okay? You can also just compress it like this. Okay, remember how we did pull it like this before? Okay, so you can actually have it close to the body like this. You stretch it out like that, but then you can actually do some rocking with that too then, okay? And rock it out too. Again, you can always use your hand in another area to actually brace it, to stabilize it. Or you remember the hip area is a really good area. But again, no pressure on the iliac crest region, just cup it so you're less likely to bruise them. Okay. You can also place it right on your quad. Just give it a little pull. You can also bring it down. So this would be really good for dancers, just get a little bit more loose and limber, get a little bit more flexibility. Okay. Okay, next one we're going to do is for more this. You can get the side like in this position. What you're going to do is place the hand here, place your foot right below the iliac crest, and actually, okay. You can actually pull it in this direction, or you can actually have your foot underneath the glute region and kind of lift up the glutes and give them a little pull in, okay? Or you can have the other leg, foot in the same area. See how it's bringing the body over, stretching over. Really good for sciatic problems. Runner's knee. With runner's knee, it's really tight right here in the iliotibial band, so you can stretch that area out to the tensor fasciae lata. Okay, then you can also, with the hand like this, you can also put the foot here and actually just give them a little pull. And if you want more pressure, just have them hold on to your wrist. Hold on to my wrist. Okay, so you can get a little bit more traction that way then, okay? So just a little bit of movement. And you can also leg and foot, okay? You can just alternate it back and forth then, okay? Or you can actually have the opposite leg. Okay? Okay, with the hand, the arm region, what we're going to do for this one is you can do a lot of compression, so it kind of mimics a lot of Shiatsu. So what we're going to do here is you can actually compress going up it, okay? You can also place their hand on your quad. And if you want, you can brace the wrist even more. Just give a little pull that way then too, okay? And then you can also stand up, actually just do a little stretching. You can just go in different angles. You bring it over here. Actually kind of pull them up a little bit. Okay, next one, have them hold onto your wrist like this. I'm going to grab the opposite leg. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on the stomach. Just rock it like that, then back and forth. You can also do the same side too, whatever they prefer. Okay, next one, more of the pec area. In cup right here. Just rock it back and forth. Or you can incorporate both arms like this. Just rock. You can kind of lean your body weight too, back and forth. You can also have them interlock the wrist. You can actually kind of rock them back and forth. But interlocking the wrist gets less pressure on the wrist region, okay? But just make sure you don't abruptly drop them at all. Make sure you just kind of slowly bring them back then, okay? And then you can also stand up. Actually just do a little stretching. You can just go at different angles. You bring it over here. Actually kind of pull them up a little bit. Okay, next one, have them hold onto your wrist like this. I'm going to grab the opposite leg. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on the stomach. Just rock it like that, then back and forth. You can also do the same side too, whatever they prefer. Okay, next one, more of the pec area. In cup right here. Just rock it back and forth. Or you can incorporate both arms like this. Just rock. You can kind of lean your body weight too, back and forth. You can also have them interlock the wrist. You can actually kind of rock them back and forth. But interlocking the wrist gets less pressure on the wrist region, okay? But just make sure you don't abruptly drop them at all. Make sure you just kind of slowly bring them back then, okay? Okay, so for the face, just like with some Shiatsu stuff, you kind of compress. You also compress with your palm. Even put your fingers underneath, stomach's a little ridge. Kind of give them rock too. You can kind of rock the head a little bit too. Remember not to do it really fast with the rocking, more likely for them to get a little bit dizzy. You also place your hands underneath here, flex the neck a little bit. You can go to the side. Okay. So some other ones for the arm region if you need to. Just place it up here. You just work your arm. Just work the way down. Or you can actually place their palm like this. So you just kind of rotate like this then. Okay, next one. This looks more dangerous than it actually is. You just place their palm on here and kind of rock it this way then. Just make sure you have both your hands. So as you see the palm, it's face down. Okay, and kind of rock it. You can also kind of do a little twist. Or you can go the other direction, twist. You can kind of shake it out too. And what works too with the palm, you can actually use your knuckle right there, or you can actually put your knee right on their palm too, okay? So you can actually use your knee a little bit. So again, you can use your knees, your feet, and all these areas too. Remember your knee on the arm too. You can also just use a little bit of your feet, okay? So Shiatsu and Thai massage, they both use their feet some, and their knees. Just compress. But as you see, I'm kind of cupping the median nerve area. So I'm not compressing, and I'm not staying in one area for too long. So you just walk. You can also, with the rest of the body, you can actually kind of walk, but just make sure you balance. Some people actually hold on to a chair if they don't have good balance for these kind of techniques. And sometimes they'll actually have kind of rafters you can actually hold on to, so you're less likely to fall too that way. But there's a style of Shiatsu that's specific just with the feet. It's called barefoot Shiatsu. But it's usually done on a low table, and then you actually have beams that you have to hold on to, but all you're doing is massaging with their feet the whole time. Okay? You know, make sure you kind of rock with your own body too. Rock into the techniques as much as you can. Okay, then you can also both sides, okay? Hip, shoulder. Okay, next one you can grab the hip, actually just kind of give a little pull. Okay, next one. This is, you have to brace yourself pretty good for this. Put then like this, and put your elbow right here, go underneath the low back. Just kind of lift up a little bit, okay? But just make sure you're lifting with your legs, like this. Okay. So that incorporates some of the anterior part. Now what we're going to do is have her go in the prone position, face down. So if you could flip over, please. Okay, we'll start down in the leg area over here to start with. So especially with the feet. And as you see with the mattress here, they don't actually have a headrest, but some people actually have like a body cushion. So it actually has a built-in headrest that way. Some people use that. Okay. Okay, for the posterior side, a lot of times you'll start with the feet region. And you can actually step on the feet then. So I'm actually going to lock it over like this. Okay, like this. And you can just kind of rock it back and forth then too, okay? Okay, some people will actually, you can use your knees in that area too. So just place your knees right in there. Just make sure you balance yourself, okay? Just rock back and forth. And again, if they can't handle it, you can just use one, just so you can balance more of your weight then. So you can actually, you can compress up the body too this way. And other compressions too, just go up this area a little bit, put the knee like in the quad, in the calf region. And you can go up the leg this way. But again, you can have both. It depends on what they can handle, but most people can't handle their knees into the calf region. Then you can also put your knees right here then too, okay? So right in the hamstrings region, you can incorporate that. Okay, and then also the glute region. You can bring it right here with your knees in there, okay? So then you can actually compress low back, mid back, upper back, all these regions. So again, you can have both knees in the glutes if you need to. Okay, next one. Okay, you're just going to lean over, just going to compress, go up the back. Okay, but you see how my back is totally straight like this, but the thing is, just make sure you kind of rock your own body when you're performing these techniques then too, okay? Okay, more for the legs, you can actually have your, right here, hold on to the feet, and kind of just lean back, okay? You can kind of rock a little bit. So you remember, it all depends what they want. If they want more of an actual stretch, so you can actually hold it in that position, okay? Or you can do a little bit of rocking with it too. Okay, next one, place your foot, it's over the lumbar area, okay? So make sure there's no pressure in there, and you just kind of lift it up. It kind of resembles kind of like a wheelbarrow. You actually just rock opposite then. Okay, next one, just having it out like this. You can actually kind of rock it in, okay? Just go back and forth. And also, you can just have it bent like this, and just out a little bit too. So you remember before we had the legs straight, but now we had the legs bent. Okay, next one, just rest your feet on their quads. Place the hand here. Just rock it back and forth. Okay, next one, you can actually kind of compress. You can compress the back. See my hands on the spine, but I'm not putting pressure on the spine. It's more on the side. Okay, next one, like this, like this. So you're going to kind of compress like the glute region, the lower back, upper back. And you can even lift up the opposite knee. So you just bring it over, yeah. Okay. Okay, next one, just going to lift this up a little bit. Place your quad on their quad, okay? You actually rock like this then too. Okay, next one, you can actually compress more of the glute region. Remember, never on the coccyx. This is called the gluteal cleft right here. Make sure you don't put your hand in there at all. You can also just one at a time. And sometimes this might be hard for people to breathe, so just be aware of their breathing. When you bring the legs up like this. Okay, next one. Bring it up here. Okay. So this is a little bit more comfortable position than the other one we went over a little while ago. So you can actually just lift it up a little bit this way too. Okay. Next one, what we're going to do is have the feet like this. Okay, we're just going to sit on the feet like this. Hold on to the wrist. Hold on to my wrist. Okay. Okay. But then you can also rock the body that way too then, okay? So whatever feels more comfortable. And you can also kind of compress the sacrum region and kind of rock the body. And just make sure they rotate their head every 5 or 10 minutes. Make sure they don't tense up. Okay, you can have them interlock the wrist. Just give a little pull. It's called tractioning whenever you pull like this. Then you can also bolt at the same time. Okay, interlock. Okay. Rock like that. If you need to, you can actually brace on the side too. Okay. You can rock them one side to the next too. Okay. Next one. Just gonna sit down a little bit and then just actually arch up like this. Okay. Okay, next one. You're gonna one leg, opposite arm. You can interlock like this. And again, you can rock, or you can actually just do a stretch to them, okay? But you can also perform on both sides with that one if you're interested. So whatever way works for you then, okay? Then you can also be more at their head up here. But just make sure if their head is facing that way, make sure you're on the opposite side. Okay, then they can just compress. But remember, it looks like I'm on the spine, but I'm not. I'm just cupping it. A lot of Shiatsu stuff, you can actually compress going down throughout the whole body. Okay, you can also incorporate like this, like this. And you can bring the arm underneath, like this. Okay. Then you can also both. It all depends on, again, how flexible they are, okay? Okay, next one, you can actually have them interlock their hands behind their head. You do that, interlock your hands behind your head. Okay. And you can actually kind of lift it up. So you can kind of rock them different areas that way too, okay? And in that same position, you can actually be over here, actually lift up at the elbows, okay? Just move it around like this then too. Okay, and then again, remember you can compress, but remember your back is totally flat like this when you're performing these techniques then, okay? Okay, next one, work for the lower back, glute region. Hold on to here, elbow on the glute. Just lift it up. Okay, next one, I'm just going to rotate this out like this. So again, how flexible they are. Just compressing. You can also do some rocking too, okay? Okay. Just like we did in the supine position, you can actually pull, push. Okay, keep the legs straight. Just give them a little stretch. You can also do a little rock too. You can also do the arm too, interlock the wrist. Okay. You can also alternate it like this, back and forth. Okay. Next one. This one's a little bit difficult. What we're going to do for this one is we're just going to bring the legs out like this, and they're going to rest their quads on your quads then, okay? You're going to bring it all like this, kneel right here, and I'm just going to lift up this leg here, right here, lift up the leg here, and you can just have them relax their legs like that, interlock the wrist, and you actually pull them up like that then, okay? Actually do that thing too, okay? So they actually get more of a stretch too that way then, okay? And you can actually, the more you go up in the inguinal area with your quads, you can actually lift them off the ground too, but it depends. If they've had a lot of Thai body work before, they can more accept that then, okay? Okay, then you can also use your feet in their hand region, okay? And then also with the glutes or the hamstrings, you can actually use your quads. You're going to be pushing on them for pressure. Okay, so you can go anywhere with that. And also like in the back region. And it's always a good idea to make sure your feet are extremely clean before you perform these techniques. Okay, because you can actually kind of rock them too, okay? And try not to push down with the pressure with rocking, just push side from side with this then. Okay? Okay, so that's it for some of the back techniques. Now what we're going to do is have her lay on her side, facing that way. Okay, so with the side position, make sure you perform it on both sides then, just so even everything out too, of course. But as you can already see, these techniques, you can take an hour and a half easily if you perform everything equal on both sides of the body. So what we're going to do for this one, so we're actually going to bring the arm over here like this, okay? You can actually kind of rock the shoulder area. You can also bring it around here like this. Give a little rock too this way. You can also have them interlock with the wrist, okay? You can press. You can actually kind of lift them up too a little bit, okay? And again, you remember it's always a good idea for them to interlock, you interlock with the wrist. So especially if they do have little wrist problems, it's a little bit easier then, okay? You can also, the top leg, so you can also alternate them back and forth then too, okay? If you need to, you can place your foot, you can alternating them this way too. Or you can take the bottom leg and do the same thing. So you can see this is really twisting the body then, okay? So the average American, again, you have to water it down a little bit, or somebody that's not really flexible. Okay. Okay, next one with the knee. You can actually place your hand right here. Just kind of rotate it around. You actually place your knee right here and bring it out like this. So again, if any time you can actually just hold it for a stretch too if you want. It all depends what they want. But usually Thai massage, a little bit of movement. You see I'm kind of rocking the hip with my knee here, okay? Okay, next one is going to keep the leg totally straight, them on their side still. Okay? You can also just lift it up like this then, okay? Okay, next one, right on the hip, okay. Just rotate it like this. If you want to, when you have this, you can actually push the shoulder down to get a little bit more of a stretch too. Okay. Next one, can actually place your foot or the glute region, actually give them a little pull. Or low back, and then we're going to cup the lumbar region and stretch them that way. Okay? If you have the top arm interlock, so you can do alternating back and forth then. Or you can have the top arm, bottom leg, just go back and forth then. We kind of did this when they're in the prone position, face down, but it's going to be done on the side too then. Okay. Next one, you can bring the arm over the head like this. Okay, you can just compress. You can also kind of rock too. Just be careful, some people are really ticklish, so try not to have your fingers too close to the axillary region. Okay, next one. I'm going to have the arm like this, just give a little traction, compressing. If you want, you can actually kind of push it down too. So whatever feels more comfortable. Okay, next one. Right here, place your foot right here, interlock, and you just actually kind of give a little pull this way then, okay? And if you want, you can actually compress, push on an area, but just make sure you balance. If you don't have any balance, you're going to have to alter these techniques a lot then, okay? Okay, next one, the arm just straight over the head like this, and just compressing. You can also kind of rock and opposite too. Okay, next one, bring it over here like this, bottom. Okay, kind of rocking the hips. You can also kind of lift it up. Okay, you can also kind of move it like this too. Okay. You can just place your foot underneath the low back, lift it up. If you want, you can grab the bottom arm, lift it up like that. Then you can also get the medial side of the leg, but you just have to bring it over here like this. Bring it up so you can actually get more the adductor region. Also the calf. And again, you can bring it over here. You can place this right at your hip. Bring it over. And then you can do some rocking too, okay? So just support the knee, especially if they have problems with it, support. Okay? And you can also just bring it over here like this too, okay? But just make sure you're moving with the techniques too. So you're not going like this with them. You're just actually moving as much of your body as possible. Okay, you can also bring it over here. Just try to keep the legs straight. But again, whatever you perform on one side, you have to perform on the other side, so make sure you incorporate those. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to do sitting up. So you can sit up and face that direction. Okay, this one you can just have the legs straight and just have them lean over. And then you can just compress the back. And then just communicate with them too, ask them if it's stretching or not, if it's ever too much or not enough. Because you just don't want to wait till the end of the treatment to ask these kind of things, okay? Okay, next one, just with the shoulders, just bring it back, yeah. Okay, now put one hand behind your head. So you're actually going to bring it over here like this then, okay? And you can even interlock going underneath, so you can actually give them more of a stretch too. Okay, they can interlock both hands behind your head. Okay, and you can even use your knee against here if you need to, bringing it back, or you can use more of your actual hip, like this. Just have them lean back. So again, most people have problems in their pec region because that area is contracted a lot, especially people at the computer all day long, when their shoulders are internally rotated more. Okay. Okay, next one. You can actually kind of push down on the shoulders. You can even use your forearm. Push down. You can even stand up, get a little more pressure. You can even use the arms. And you can even put your knee against their back, stretch them out that way then too. Okay, next one, you're just going to rotate the body, rotate like this. Okay, and you can even do more of a movement too with it, more of a dance. Okay, next one we're going to do, we're going to sit down, place the feet in the mid-back, have the arms, just give a little pull, interlock the wrists. You can actually just walk the body this way then, okay? Okay, next one. They're just going to sit on your feet a little bit, like that. Just lean back. You can actually just lift them up, or you can just kind of rotate them back and forth then, okay? Just to stretch out the pecs. Okay. Okay, next one. Place the hand like this. Okay. Bring it out like this. Then also any other kind of stretches, you can actually bring it over here like this. Let's see, I got my medial side of my knee, compressing that area so the body's not going to rotate around. Just do it in any directions you need to. Okay. Okay, and then also sometimes I'll incorporate some Tepultman into it. Okay, you can use your knuckles a little bit. Remember the quacking. Okay. Okay, also like this, like the hacking. Also, you can incorporate a little bit of massage into the shoulder region, so it's a really good position. And again, if you have any doubts, ask permission from a doctor, just to be safe. It's always a good idea. So again, any doubts, refer it out then, okay? And this is these kind of techniques, it's a good idea to actually work them up to it. So you can just incorporate just some of the basics, just actually just compressing up the body to just to get them used to those. Incorporate a stretch here and there, and then you can really go. Then you can really incorporate a lot of stretching into it too. Then, okay. So that concludes the Thai massage. So thank you very much for watching, and make sure you pause this every now and then to get the techniques down. And thank you very much.